am doing an outdoor class today with the flies. Got a few flies right here. So I'm right outside our motorhome that I'm redoing, and I thought this might be the best place to do it. So here we are. I'm not sure. The shadows are kind of a little bit shadowy, but hopefully it'll be all right. See if I can move my light here. Okay. Yay. So we're going to be doing this polar bear one, and I marked it into six spaces here, 6 lines, sections, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to start with our blue dowel and paint number 1. Put this over here. Okay, let me see if I can bring it down just a little bit more. And next time I'm hoping to be in the motorhome in my little studio area when I do the class. So yay, I just got it all painted. So excited. So, well, let's start with paint number 1. Paint number 1 and our blue dowel. Just do our center dot there. And I think I'm just gonna flatten it out just a tiny bit. Don't overdo it. Just like that. I'll give you a view of where we're at outside here. I'm at some of our friends' place. And Eric is up in San Francisco, my husband, already working. And I'm just working on the motorhome right now, getting it all ready. So, okay, and then let's do paint number 3. No, actually paint number 4, I'm sorry. White. Paint number 4. And let's use the large end of the turquoise colored stylus, and we're going to put 1 dot on each of the lines. So we're going to make 6 dots. So north and south, and then 2 on each side. And I need to use my breath today. Been going in 100 million directions. And it's just good for me to slow down a little bit and breathe. This magnet is canvas, so sometimes the dots are not exactly perfectly round, but it's okay. And then we're going to put 1 dot between each of those dots. So breathe in when you dip, breathe out when you dot. Set one of these fly sticky things I got out here. See if I can catch some flies that are swirling around my ears. But probably not. They probably just like to swirl around my ears. I didn't think about that when I was thinking of doing this class outside. Oh well, I might get through. Okay, then let's use paint number 2. And we'll use the large end of our blue stylus. Large end, green. You can see it's green, right? And we're going to put one dot between each of the dots we just made, just staggered between each one. Dip every time. And you can see my hands are all painted. I did try to wash it off earlier, but I didn't succeed in getting it all off. I guess I didn't try hard enough, but I'll do it later. So you get to look at my painted hands. That's actually really terrible. I'm gonna send a video of our progress here pretty soon, and we also have a YouTube channel that we started called Eric and Elaine's RV Adventures. So I'll have to send you the link for that. Okay, now we get to start making our bears. And I've made this a little bit closer together than the last one I did, so I'm wondering if maybe I should, let me think here. Let's actually make one more row here. Let's make another row. Let's see what color we should use, because I don't want our bears to get too close to each other, and I'm afraid they might if we don't do another row. So let's do paint number 3. And we'll just do another row of these dots with the large. And actually let's use our clear dowel. Paint number 3, this light blue. And we're just going to put them staggered out from the ones we just made, dipping about 1/4 of an inch. I didn't get those spaced very evenly, did I? But who's going to notice, right? So that time we used paint number 3. Okay. I'll wait just a minute. I think I kind of did that one kind of fast. Okay, so this bear, one thing that I use to help me remember how to do it is that I'm using a larger tool each time, or a different size tool, I should say, each time I do it. So the first dot is blue, then pink, and then purple, and then clear. So we'll start with paint number 4. Okay, and we're going to use the blue dowel for our first dot. And actually, I lied again. Didn't really lie, I just forgot. I actually want to use paint number 3. So let's use paint number 3 for the first dot. And we're not going to stagger the dots this time. We're going to put the dots on top of, like, on top of that dot. And we're going to do one north, and then we're going to do one south. And then we're going to do 2 on each side again like we did before. So don't do east and west. So blue dowel, paint number 3. So we're going to skip a dot. So there's a dot between. And then we're going to skip another dot, and we're going to do one. So just on top of that. So we're doing 6 dots. Look straight on when you're doing it. Okay. So you should have 6 dots. Okay. Now we're going to start on the outside, and we're going to start making our trees. And we're going to use our paint number 2. Paint number 2. And let's use our large end of our blue stylus. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to, let's see. Yeah, okay. Because I want to do it slightly different than this. So large end of the blue stylus. And we're going to do one, just do one swoosh, one swoosh just right straight up to this dot, bigger dot that we just made. And then we're going to make, let's see, we're going to start here and go in, and we're going to make 3. I'm just trying to see how many I need to do here. Don't get them too close. I probably got that one a little bit too close. And I'm just trying to see if we can, yeah, let's just do 5. So start here, 1, and then do 2 on each side. And you don't have to do them exactly spaced. All the same from each other. It's kind of nice if you have like some of them closer together than each other. It's totally fine. Okay. So this is where we trust the process, because it looks kind of funny right now, doesn't it? So those are the bases for the trees. Okay, and then we're going to use our same tool, blue stylus, large end, and we're going to make the trees. So we're going to use paint number 3 now, and we're going to put just bring them together. We're going to put 4 on each one, and then we're going to, for the top, we're going to use white. So this is paint number 3, and kind of bring them in just a little bit. We'll start down here at the bottom. So the second set, you want to do 1, 2, and then the second set, just do it slightly in a little bit. And then I'll show you, I think the best thing would be to use the small end then for the white. And we're just going to add just the tip with white. And using the small end. You can add 2 or 3. Like that. And we might add a couple more here too, but that's the basic tree that we're going to do here. So color number 3 for the bottom part of it. So 2 little swooshes, 4, but 2 at a time, kind of. Okay, and then after we get this set done, I'm going to pause and go back to making the bear. We had to wait for that dot to dry a bit, but I see that it's dried pretty good. So I'm just going to finish up these trees. This set. Okay. So let's go back to the bears now, because we need to get those on there so that they can dry as well, so we can put more dots on top of those dots. So we're going to go back to paint number 4 for the bear and our pink dowel this time, so our biggest one that we're using. And we're going to put the head on the bear. So out here. So just overlap slightly like that. And I know this looks funny too, doesn't it? But it will be good when we're done. So pink dowel, paint number 4, which is our white. So pink and then blue, or I mean blue and then pink, and then we're going to go down a step, purple. So purple for the feet. So overlap these quite a bit, like half on and half off. So purple dowel. Okay, and then we're going to go down one size more and use a clear dowel for the ears. And we're going to do those overlapping again, about half on and half off. Now it's starting to look like a bear. Cute. Okay, and then we have to let those dry. So we'll go back to our trees again. So back to paint number 3. And the large end of the blue stylus. There's a lot of trees. You have to wipe your tool off once in a while. It's kind of breezy out here. Not really too breezy, but just tiny bit, which makes my paint dry faster. And then top it off with white. So what you can do is dip twice, and then on the third one, you just put a little tiny swoosh without dipping. So that one I kind of messed up on. But trees are all different sizes and shapes, so not too worried about it. I don't want them all to be the same anyway. So I'm using the small end for these ones. Okay. So now, still wanting to wait for our bears to dry a bit more before we do anything more on them. So we're going to do our stars. So we're going to use paint number 2. Now you might not be quite done with the trees, but I'm going to keep moving. For one thing, in the country out here, my internet, I think it's searching for internet towers more. So my battery on my phone doesn't last as long. And I can't plug it in because I'm using my microphone. So hopefully it will last. I think it will. Okay, so we're going to use paint number 2 and large end of the blue stylus. And we're going to put this dot just above just at the top of the tree line there. So one dot just at the very top of the tree line in between each one. Just to line up with the tip of the trees. So that's the large end of the blue stylus and paint number 2. And then we're going to use the small end. So that was a large end. Now we're going to use a small end. We're going to dip once. We're going to do walking dots. We're going to do let's see, 5 and then 4. Okay, so 5 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 4 down. So let's just do all of those first. 5 and then 4 down. Okay, and then the small end still. We're going to do 3 out each side. Make sure and look straight on. Okay. Three out each side. And then we're going to just do 2 out each direction. So dip and then 2. So we started with 5 up, 4 down, 3, and now we're doing 2. 3 out each side and then 2 diagonally. All with the small end of the blue stylus. Except for the middle dot was the large end. And look what I was creating. I forgot to show you. Penguins! Aren't they so cute? Can't wait to do something with those fun little creatures. Okay. Now I think now we can go back to doing the teddy bear a little bit. I don't know if yours are dry. Like I said, I'm outside, so things are drying more quickly. And I decided to use a slightly darker gray, but any kind of gray is good. I like the lighter one too. I just wanted to see what it looked like. So here we go. So I'm using the small end of the green stylus, and I'm putting a dot towards the bottom of the paw. I'm just dipping just past the dot, past the ball. And I'm putting them kind of at the bottom and towards, yeah, just pretty much at the bottom of that white paw. So this gray, I can't tell you. I'll have to look and see. I think it was slate gray. Can't remember though. But I'll have to let you know. Okay, and then I'm going to use the small end, actually the small end of the blue stylus, and just put 3 dots. I don't know if we can fit 4. I think 3 is about good. And if it's easier to put 1 at the top and then 1 on each side to get them balanced good, you can do that. So this is actually turning out a little bit different than my original one, but I think I'm liking it better. You have to let me know what you think. And I see some others have joined us. Anyway, sorry about my painty hands. They are kind of, yeah, not so beautiful today because I've been painting our RV and it's a big job, but it's getting there. Okay, and then I'm going to use the same paint for the ears, and I'm just going to kind of make a little dot and then make it into a little crescent shape, just slightly. You can even just make a dot, it's totally fine. I just like to make it slightly shaped like an ear, kind of just a little crescent. Okay. And then I'm going to put the little nose on gently here. Yours might not be dry, but you can wait a little bit. I'm just going to use the small end of my blue stylus and make just a tiny little eye dot, and then I just move it slightly from side to side. Give it that little nose shape, kind of side to side and then down a little bit. So it's just a little bit oval shaped. And I'm just dipping barely, not very much. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect either. It's just kind of, okay, and then I'm just going to dip just a tiny bit to make the eyeballs. Tiny little eyes. Just a very light touch using just to make the dots small. If it's easier for you, just dip once and then dip onto your paper and then dot. That'll give you a smaller dot if you're wanting a smaller dot. And if you get them too big, like that one's a little bit big, I think. So later I might take some white and just touch it up a little bit. So I got kind of carried away on that. But that's easy to do. Just take some white on your blue tool and just kind of fix it a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to take some dark blue, so paint number 1, and I'm going to use the large end of my blue stylus and just walk a few dots. So I'm just going to do 4 dots between here. You don't have to do them all in a row. You can kind of do them random. And then I'll do a few blue dots. So paint number 2, just do a few, like 3 of these. Okay. And then let's do just a couple of the white. So I'm just going to do like 2 white dots here, or maybe 3. Odd number's good, right? And you can do some of them in the tree area too. If you want to. That might look good actually. Put a few down here. Okay. And then I think we're going to have room for the little paw here. Sorry, I'm kind of moving a little bit fast, but I'm getting eaten by flies, and I'm outside, and my battery also has limited capacity, so this will be you'll be able to replay it again right after I'm done. So I'm using the clear dowel and paint number 3, and I'm just putting a little dot down in here. Okay. And now I think while we're waiting for that to dry, let's top dot these center ones. So let's use 2 sizes smaller. So we'll use the clear dowel, paint number 3, and clear dowel for this center one. And let's use paint number 3 again and the blue stylus. for these large end of the blue stylus for these top dotting these ones right here, the second row. Okay, and then we use white for that top dotting these next ones, and we'll use this small end of the green stylus to top dot these ones. Okay, and then let's put the little scarves on the bears. So I want to use the dark blue and large end of the green stylus. And I'm just going to do a swoosh, but it's going to be a curved swoosh for the, just to go around the neck here. So start one side, go to the other side. So a curved little swoosh. Large end of the blue stylus. Paint number 1. And then we're going to use the large end again and just make 2 little swooshes, curved swooshes for the scarf end here. So I'm still using the large end of the blue stylus. There we go. Cute. Cute, cute. And then I want to make this into a paw print, but I'm not sure if it's dry enough yet. I'm going to try it anyway. So color number 2. And actually, I'm going to use the large end of the blue stylus, I think, because these are smaller dots. So large end of the blue stylus. And just one single dot at the bottom. Color number 2, and then we're going to use the small end again and just put the 3 little paw prints. These are kind of small, so if you need to dot on your paper first, then you can do that. And I'm just barely dipping here because I don't have room for very big dots. If it's easier for you just to top dot it, that's all right too. You can do that instead of doing the paw print. So I think It's almost done. I just want to put one more top dot in the very center with white. And I'll use the large end of the blue stylus just to set that off. Otherwise, I think it's beautiful. Which one do you like better? I think I like the one I just did better. Anyway, let me know which one you like better. And I hope you enjoyed it. It's so fun to do this with you. So looking forward to next time, and yeah, have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks for joining me.